Imagine climbing the beautiful Catskill peaks, only to find yourself forced to blaze your own trail through dense brush, creating unofficial paths that are quickly becoming permanent scars on the landscape. This is exactly the challenge New York State is facing. The rise of so-called herd paths created by hikers venturing off established trails on 12 of the 16 high peaks in the Catskills that have historically been trailless. But here's where it gets controversial. The state wants to formally mark preferred routes on these peaks, a move that has sparked debate between preserving wild, untouched wilderness and managing growing foot traffic to protect sensitive environments. The New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, DEC, recently released a draft plan, the formerly trailless Catskill High Peaks Visitor Use Management Plan, signaling a shift from calling these mountains untrailed. The reason? An influx of hikers carving out their own paths has turned what were once truly wild peaks into areas riddled with visible herd tracks. The DEC is now inviting public feedback on these proposals through September 15th. To understand the gravity, consider a similar incident at Breakneck Ridge. A hiker veered off an official trail near the summit, uploaded their descent route onto a popular app, AllTrails, inadvertently mislabeling a risky off-trail shortcut as an official path. This mistake led to an influx of hikers following suit, forcing the state to create a dedicated Nimham trail to direct hikers safely. It raises an important question. How often do individual actions redefine hiking culture and environmental impact? For the 4 Catskill peaks not included in the DEC's current plan, the herd paths are already so well established, often remnants of old logging roads or snowmobile routes, that formal marking isn't necessary. But for the others, the DEC plans a long-term project involving marking preferred trails, strengthening these routes, rerouting traffic away from fragile areas, and closing off other unofficial paths. Michael Bongar, president of the Catskills 3,500-foot club, which has partnered with the DEC on this research, estimates this work will take several years to complete. A bit of history helps here. The Catskills 3,500-foot club, founded in 1962 by dedicated hikers seeking to summit all 35 peaks over 3,500 feet, originally helped mark established trails on half of these peaks. To preserve the natural experience on the trailless peaks, they installed summit canisters containing logbooks where hikers could prove their attainment using traditional navigation methods like map and compass. It was hiking measured by skill and self-reliance. Fast forward to today. Bongar asks rhetorically, when was the last time you saw someone using a compass? The advent of smartphones and GPS navigation apps such as AllTrails and Strava has made reaching these undeveloped summits accessible to many more hikers, often without any basic orienteering skills. This technology boom has created a new culture of mapping and sharing routes, accelerating the formation of herd paths. These trends are evident in the data. The number of canister signatures grew steadily in the 2010s, before skyrocketing amid the COVID-19 pandemic. For instance, just 180 hikers summited Vly Mountain in 2008, a number that ballooned to 727 by 2019, and then doubled to 1,417 in 2020. Similar increases occurred across all the untrailed peaks, reflecting an unprecedented surge in backcountry visitation. However, this surge has an environmental cost. The proliferation of herd paths has contributed to the spread of invasive plant species, and over 5 years, 7 ground-nesting bird species in these high peaks have experienced a 40% population decline. In response to overuse, 2 trailless peaks located on private land were permanently closed in 2021, underscoring the urgent need for sustainable management. The DEC is leveraging data from apps like AllTrails and Strava to identify the most heavily used unofficial trails. But usage alone won't determine which routes get official markings. Many hikers tend to follow the shortest path, even if it causes erosion or disturbs sensitive habitats. For instance, the most popular route up Friday Mountain climbs directly from an old logging road in a steep, straight line, a pattern that can cause serious environmental damage like gullies and stream disruptions. Bongar emphasizes that sustainable trail design, including the installation of switchbacks and careful rerouting, will require experts to protect these ecosystems. For adventurous souls seeking a genuine backcountry experience, the Catskills still offer many trailless peaks under 3,500 feet. These quieter mountains see far less foot traffic and are not part of the 3,500-foot club challenge, preserving a sense of wilderness. However, DEC plans to request that apps like AllTrails and Strava remove GPS maps for these remaining untrailed peaks, encouraging hikers to navigate without digital assistance. But don't worry, you won't be completely on your own. The Catskills 3,500-foot club aims to help preserve traditional navigation skills by offering orienteering workshops. As Bongar points out, it's amazing how accurate you can be with just a map and a compass, a skill that can deepen your connection with the wilderness. So, what do you think? Should these wild peaks be tamed with marked paths to protect the environment and guide hikers? Or does this risk eroding the sense of adventure and challenge that makes the Catskills special? Where do you stand on the balance between conservation and accessibility? Share your thoughts. This conversation needs your voice.